no amount of party chairmanship positions or other secondary roles will deter us from our demand for the presidency. We will no longer accompany other zones as escorts, backbenchers, spectators, or political underdogs to the glorious location called Nigeria. Being the only geopolitical zone that has never produced a civilian president or vice president since independence, the time for North Central to lead the country is now. This demand is a call to action for the major political parties to recognize the zone's contributions and grant it the presidential ticket in 2027. Signed,
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, tension is rising as the North Central Zone has drawn a bold red line ahead of 2027 elections. For the very first time, the Middle Belt, through the North Central Renaissance movement, has openly declared that enough is enough. In a strong worded statement, the group shouted loud and clear, "It is our turn." They are demanding that all major political parties, APC, PDP, ADC, Labour parties and others must zone the 2027 presidential ticket to the North Central region. According to them, the North Central has paid its dues. They say electric power generation began with dams in their region from Shiroro to Kanji Dam, and without them, Nigeria's economy will not stand today. They point to tin mining, granite pyramids, and countless sacrifices during the Civil War, insisting that no other zone has given so much without ever producing a civilian president or vice president. The group warns that the North Central will no longer remain spectators, escorts, or political underdogs. Their demand is firm. 2027 must be their turn and not just another empty promise. They argue that with Abuja sitting at the heart of the region and with North Central hosting all three major tribes, Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo, the zone is uniquely positioned to heal Nigeria's dangerous North-South divide. They believe only a leader from the Middle Belt can calm the growing distrust, stop another round of disunity, and truly unite the country. But here is a big twist. They insist no amount of party chairmanships or secondary posts will silence them. Only the presidency will do, and they challenge APC, PDP, Labour Party, and others to be smart enough to recognize this reality or risk a major political shock in 2027. The question now is simple but explosive. Will the big party give in to the North Central demand, or will Nigeria walk into another storm of division before 2027? Guys, I would like to watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
Okay, thank you very much. I welcome you all to this auspicious event. Today we are gathered to issue a communique from the North Central Renaissance movement to all Nigerians this day, 23rd August 2025. But of particular mention and target are the following: Your Excellencies, the President and the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the distinguished Senate President, principal officers, and all distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, principal officers, and all honorable members of the House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Chief Justice of the Federation, Your Excellencies, the Governors of the 36 states of Nigeria and Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Honorable Speakers of the 36 state Houses of Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Royal Fathers, Presidents of the Traditional Councils in the 36 states and the FCT, elder statesmen, especially past heads of states and presidents, commanders-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished women and mothers of this great country of ours, members of the diplomatic corps, religious leaders, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We, the North Central Renaissance Movement, NCRM, gathered to deliberate on the future of our zone and Nigeria, hereby issue this communique to express our unwavering demand for presidential tickets from major political parties in Nigeria. The North Central Renaissance Movement, NCRM, has issued a strong and resolute statement before this moment and on several other occasions, demanding presidential tickets from major political parties in Nigeria, with a renewed message for Nigerians to discard the habit of low expectations of ourselves as well as of our leaders. I'm referring to inferiority complex from leaders of our zone, where there is. The movement asserts that the North Central geopolitical zone has made significant contributions to the country's economic development and unity, and therefore demands the principal position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2027. The statement further underscores the fact that the zone has paid its dues to Nigeria's economic development by providing power through numerous hydroelectric power dams, laying a strong foundation for a sturdy house of economic diversification through tin mining and the groundnut pyramids to further showcase our commitment to the nation's growth. Power in Nigeria did not commence through the use of natural gas, coal, etc. It began through the use of water from Shiroro Dam, from Kayenji Dam, and other dams within the North Central. And we all agree that without power, no economic diversification or activity starts. This is the magnitude of contribution we have offered Nigeria. The zone has also made unparalleled contributions to the Nigerian victory, a prize they hold so dear, particularly in the struggle during the Civil War. The zone that paid the highest price through human sacrifice is the North Central geopolitical zone, just to keep Nigeria together. The North Central, which has been the center of national cohesion, consistently maintains her loyalty to the Nigerian project and has supported candidates from other zones, reflecting her sacrifice and love for their political aspirations. Perhaps this explains why all other zones have either been civilian president or vice president without the North Central achieving such a feat since independence. Moreover, the zone has produced highly competent leaders, technocrats, and world-class professionals who have proven capacity to deliver good governance to Nigeria, with the highest number of ethnic groups and hosting the 3 major tribes of the Hausa Fulani in all the states of the North Central, the Yorubas in Kogi and Kwara, as well as the Igbos in Kogi and Benue. The zone embodies the spirit of inclusivity that Nigeria aspires to. As a geopolitical and cultural bridge, at the same time sharing identities with both North and South, a leader from the North Central will have the experience and temperament to manage Nigeria's diversity and promote national unity, as well as ethno-religious tolerance. As host to the seat of power, that is Abuja, we demand the driver's seat in the villa come 2027. To project our pursuit of unity and foresight, the North Central Zone calls the nation together to ease the pains of today while working for the gains of tomorrow. We believe that our leadership will foster a new era of cooperation, progress, and development for all Nigerians. The North Central region's aspiration to Nigeria's presidency in 2027 presents a unique opportunity for Northern leaders to demonstrate their commitment to inclusivity and regional unity, fostering a sense of cohesion within the North and encouraging other regions to lend their backing, ultimately strengthening Nigeria's democratic fabric. We will not be swayed by tokenistic gestures. No amount of party chairmanship positions or other secondary roles will deter us from our demand for the presidency. We will no longer accompany other zones as escorts, backbenchers, spectators, or political underdogs to the glorious location called Nigeria. Being the only geopolitical zone that has never produced a civilian president or vice president since independence, the time for North Central to lead the country is now. This demand is a call to action for the major political parties to recognize the zone's contributions and grant it the presidential ticket in 2027. Signed, Professor Kitso Ngadu, Chairperson, North Central Renaissance Movement. The South has, not 27, we are aspiring to solve the problem, to douse the suspicion between the North and the South. We are aspiring to bring the country together in the midst of rising disunity and distrust, especially between the political elites, given the increasing demand for regional promotion above national unity and good governance. If you listen to me carefully, we are not saying give us a chance because we are not Central people, but because we have tested hands and we have that experience and temperament, and given the pluralistic nature of the North Central geopolitical zone, we think we can unite the country. We can reverse the growing distrust and disunity. It's all about saving the Nigerian nation, not about the representation from one part of the country to another. There is a deepening divide between northern and southern politicians, and we are saying, okay, we are available as the solution, as the bridge that will connect the northern political class and the southern political class. And that's why we describe the advantages we have as North Central people. It is the three big tribes that give Nigeria the most political heartaches. Politics revolves around Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba. And we are saying we are hosting them in this zone. We understand them. Many people, for instance, didn't know there are Igbos in North Central. But the boundary local governments between Kogi and Anambra, where oil was discovered, has Igbos, has indigenes of Kogi State. Just like when you go to Enugu, you will see Igalas, has indigenes of Enugu State. If you go to Benue, those local governments bounding Enugu and Ebonyi, you will see Igbos as indigenes. And then Hausa Fulani, they are in every North Central state. So stop quarreling. We want to split the fight. So it's about the Nigerian nation and her aspirations for growth, for prosperity, for good governance, more than issue of North or South. So this is the emphasis. I believe that the country will see our quest as a very viable solution to the growing distrust that may lead to another regional or civil unrest. We do not want to nosedive into such ugly moments as we have witnessed before in the 70s. So 2027 offers Nigeria another golden opportunity to improve unity, harmony, and national cohesion through the patronage of a North Central candidate. Second question from the Daily Trust correspondent. Yeah, sitting president has right to first refusal, but I know every party will want to also win election and win it easily. So if a political party is smart and does a permutation very well, it could substitute candidates. But assuming in the APC, which you are referring to, we do not have hope for a presidential ticket. We have hope for a vice presidential ticket as North Central. We can complement the president if Nigerians say APC return. But our communique is explicit. We are addressing major political parties in Nigeria. In PDP, there is no scenario of right of first refusal. The same thing now in ADC, the same thing in SDP. Anyway, ADC is more or less a coalition. But go to Labour Party, for instance, or ABGA, that also has a governor in Nigeria. There is that opening. And I tell you, a pure northern or pure southern candidacy will only offend the other side depending on how the pendulum swings. But a neutral north-central candidature will appease both sides of the divide. So we still have PDP. They are still trying to zone positions. What if PDP decides to give North Central their ticket? Something like that. What if SDP does that? What if ADC does that? Nigeria is a multi-party democracy. It's not a one-party state. So our agitation still has a lot of hope. And let's not be unaware of surprises with beavers. We saw what beavers did to many sitting political office holders in 2023. If the current administration is serious about electoral sanity, they may improve it to the extent that the common man in Nigeria will now have a stronger say come 2027.
The most used and dumped region in Nigeria is the Middle Belters, that is also known as North Central. They've received the greatest deception and the greatest betrayal and should I say political marginalization. These Fulanis and Hausas, they know the sermon to preach during election to get to the emotions of these Middle Belters. Once it's time for election, they start preaching, oh, we are all Northerners, we are all this, we are all that. Listen, without the population of North Central, these Fulanis and Hausa are irrelevant politically in Nigeria. And this is what this North Central have refused to realize. A few of them had actually realized it. The political power that these Fulanis and Hausas enjoy in Nigeria today is courtesy the Middle Belters. The cultural gloating, the cultural power, and the cultural authority that they are the majority that these Hausas enjoy today is courtesy the Middle Belters. Because if you go to northern Nigeria and you want to collect data for census, that's population census, you will see these Middle Belters feeling Hausa as first language. And they have their own indigenous language. They all have their own internal language that they speak, that they use to communicate. If you've been there, you understand what I'm saying. But once the moment that matters approaches, you see them feeling Hausa, giving Hausa people more leverage, more strength. And they are yet to realize these things. When I was in Gombe State, this was my gospel. This was what I was telling them. You can't be flexing, romancing the muzzles of these Hausas. And you guys have done it in such a way that everyone in southern Nigeria now thinks that once you approach Kogi, from Kogi to Connaught, is Hausa. Because of what you guys are doing. Now, if you look at your screen, this is a comment of someone from Middle Belt, North Central, saying that, oh, they dislike it whenever we associate them with these Fulanis and Hausas and blah, 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 blah. Listen, sir, with all due respect, you Middle Belters have not been able to prove it to the world and other parts of Nigeria that you are different from these Hausas. Because once election approaches, election is a very crucial moment to distinguish yourself, but no, you guys will team up with them. Any candidate they show forth, watch it. That candidate will win in Kwara, win in Kogi, win in Benue, win in what's it called, Naija. And then the only difference, and I hail those people a lot, Plateau State. That's the reason when I went to Plateau State, I felt like, this one I worry, this one another worry. To be honest with you, I'm just giving you a very honest feedback. When I enter Jos, I just think, this one another worry. Because those guys there, they are purely different in attitude, the way they reason, and apart from Jos and maybe Southern Kaduna, you get, apart from Jos and Kaduna, every other place in the North Central, when it comes to behavioral pattern, you guys behave like them. Dressing, you dress like them. Food, all of you, you get. So I'm just being honest with you. So you guys are being used, dumped, and you are still in the game of giving them political power. I was discussing with some of my friends who, are middle belters, and I asked them, what have you gained from this parasitic union that you are in with these Fulanis and Hausas? They keep using you. They keep betraying you. And in return, they came to your bushes and they start maiming your people, kidnapping your people, raping, sacking your family, sacking your villages. Because if you look at the home of this herders farmers clash, it's in the North Central. The Fulanis rewarded you with banditry, kidnapping, herders farmers clash, and on and on. And you are still in this union. I call it parasitic union because you are not getting any positive result from it. Did you know what they replied me? All these middle belts. Did you know what they replied me, my friends? They said, parasitic union, but you give us Abuja, we don't get Abuja. And I said, hold on. If you guys are not thinking properly. Is Abuja a commercial center? Number one. Is there any booming industry that can actually employ Nigerians in Abuja or employ middle belters in Abuja? A place where they are busy building estates, unnecessary estate everywhere, and people cannot afford it. Okay, let's go down to the politics. Are middle belters in charge of Abuja? Has any middle belters ever, assumed the position of FCT minister over the years? Even some of the local government chairmen, they are not from the region. From that point, they kept mute. They kept mute. Bam. So, see, these people keep brainwashing you people in the middle belt that you are the same. And I'm not seeing you guys fighting it. If there is you just need to realize that you guys have not been able to prove to other parts of Nigeria and the world at large that you are different from these Fulani and Hausa guys. And they are using you to achieve whatever thing that they want to achieve. When the crucial time of decision making approach, they will say you guys are one. The moment that time is over, everybody to your tent to Israel. And it's not only happening between the Hausa Fulanis and the Middle Belt. Every other language, every other state. When the moment of decision making comes, we are all one. But it's time for reward. They will not select the goons, the cartel, and they will share the reward amongst themselves.